Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Unit 3. Marriage Law Reforms. Major portion of the statutory personal laws enacted in the various Muslim countries represent a mere codification of the established law. At base, unification of hitherto divergent legal principles. There is, however, no reason to deny the fact that certain provisions in this law have introduced significant reforms in the traditional law. The principal reforms so introduced in one country or another relate to a. Marriage age for men and women and difference of age between parties to marriage. B. Role of marriage guardians in the fixation and solemnization of marriage. C. Registration and documentation of marriage. D. Monetary aspect of marriage, dowry, and expenses. E. Polygamy and rights of co-wives. F. Maintenance of wife, family, and matrimonial home during the subsistence of marriage. G. Unilateral divorce right of parties to marriage and ground for judicial divorce. H. Post-divorce reliefs for the parties, especially for women. I. Period of gestation and its implication. J. Parents' rights relating to custody and guardianship of children, especially of mothers. K. Inheritance right of certain close relatives surviving spouse, daughters, brother, sister, grandfather, and descendant of predeceased children. L. Choice of the legatee, especially their eligibility to receive a bequest. And M. Validity, tenure, and management of family, WAQFS. Reforms in this area have been effective. Different reforms in different countries, either under the provisions of comprehensive code or laws of personal status or family rights, or by way of sporadic legislation. The such materials for all the aforesaid reforms have been located by the jurists and the legislator of the Muslim world in the depth, divergence, flexibility, and richness of legal principles within the vast framework of the Sharia. It is not the case in the Muslim states, including Turkey, that personal law has been codified and reformed merely to modernize or westernize the law, nor have their architect, advocate, and exponent ever quote any wholly un-Islamic search for any of these reforms. The motive behind and the object of all this legislative activity have been extolled by the reforms. The need to systemize personal law on the pattern of other law since codified. The desire to benefit from lesser known and hitherto neglected principle and juristic opinion within the fold of the Sharia. The will to take misinterpretation, misapplication, and growing misuse of the Sharia law, of which there were greater chance and possibility in its uncodified state. The policy of nationalizing and truly Islamizing the law, and the urge to rebuild the society and conformity with the original, unadulterated social-legal principles of Islam. In several countries, the ulama have approved or have been closely associated with the reform's effect. At the same time, some of the reforms in some countries have been opposed and criticized by certain sections of religious leaders and scholars. This has happened in Iraq, Indonesia, Pakistan, Tunisia, South Yemen, and Turkey. On some occasions, their objections were accepted and the reforms proposed or already effect, drop, repeat or modify, Mensoj Tahir Mahmud, 1987, Personal Law in Islamic Countries History, Text and Comparative Analysis, Academy of Law and Religion, New Delhi, pp. 11 to 13. Thank you.